So for those of you who have been paying attention, I know you have, Luigi Mangione is turning into somewhat of almost like a Dark Knight or even a Joker type. I mean, it is. It's like Butch, it's like a comic book come to life. Like it really is.
Even the name sounds made up, but go ahead. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. You know, I always was Luigi in Super Mario too, because he had
here we go again.
You know, that's one of the bingo. And so on Saturday night, and this should come as no surprise, because I will say that Mr. Colin Jost, who isn't that funny,
he really isn't. He really isn't that funny.
He's also married to Scarlett Zio-Nazi Johansson, for those of you who don't know that she is
so many things have been completely ruined for me now. Like I can't even like watch anything.
If you want to talk
last year on the 23rd, Butch, and the past 2 years before that, we would have been celebrating Festivus. We had a Festivus. We had the
airing of grievances. Yes.
Oh, we had it. We had guests come on. We aired grievances. I have a Festivus poll, the whole thing. We have Festivus sweaters. And now he's dead to me, and the whole thing is ruined and disgusting. So,
but what I want you to pay attention here is everybody's talking about the crowd reaction. I want you to pay attention to Colin's reaction.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Mangione dropped. Yeah, definitely woo. You're wooing for justice, right? Luigi Mangione dropped his extradition fight and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York to face multiple charges. In related news, Bumble exploded.
How much of a colossal douchebag could you possibly?
Well, he's just a tool of the establishment. Look what he works for. I mean, their ads are all from Pfizer. I mean, what do you think?
Also, just like profoundly unfunny. I mean,
he's not funny.
Let's be clear about that.
What is funny is that his partner, Michael Shea, he's funny. So he gets a little lucky, just like being in the right place at the right time sometimes. But it's like, we're cheering for him to like go away, right? We're cheering for him to get sent away to prison for a long time. Fuck. It's like they really don't get it. But
I think they do. I think that they do. I think that it's, one of my favorite MCs, Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers. He came to my hip hop history class one time and he said, narrative scripts human behavior the way that code scripts computers, right? And why am I citing that? Because they are just trying to control the narrative. They're doing everything that they can, to get you to comply with the official version of events. When the reality is like people have responded the way that they've responded because the American public is over being exploited by a healthcare establishment that shouldn't exist at all. We should have single payer, just like every other, wealthy nation on earth. And you can literally track from the Reagan years how our spending has spiked and our life expectancy has gone down in comparison to every other similar place on earth. So we're getting the shaft, and the American people know it, and they're screaming for Luigi, Mangione, because they understand that these people are not afraid to kill us with the stroke of a pen.
That's exactly right. And that's what Bill Burr, a great thought leader, comedian. Bill Burr in many ways is our George Carlin. He's probably
come on, that's like almost sacrilegious.
I'm saying
it's a little tall for him, but I mean,
I was going to say Carlin was genius. I mean, that's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Well, I think Chappelle is the best, but I do think that Burr is really good. That's my opinion. Okay. And so if you really want to know what the people are thinking, this is what counts. It's what's going on the outside, the opinions of people in the streets, not the people who are paid hundreds of thousands, not millions of dollars on TV to say, get in line, behave, obey. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen They Live by John Carpenter, see that movie.
I don't see scary movies, that.
It's not really scary.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like my kind of film. I'm gonna just go out and say that's not my kind.
Okay, there's a scene there's a scene at the newspaper stand in that movie. That's like the scene of the film. It's with Rowdy Roddy Piper. And I know you loved wrestling in the 80s, Jen. I know you loved Rowdy.
Roddy Piper. I actually did. I actually got to meet him once. So anyway.
So yes, watch that scene, if nothing else. And of course, people are not going to obey. They are going to rise up because that's what's happening. And here's what they had to say about Luigi.
He has fixated on and scolded Americans who express support for him, but they don't seem interested on covering the corruption and the greed of healthcare companies. What do you think of the media's response?
Yeah, I think they're missing the point. It's innocent until proven guilty. What does Luigi have to do with this? Focus on Brian Thompson. He's a criminal. Terrorism. That's absurd. That's absurd. Are any of the school shooters charged with terrorism? I don't think so. No, they're not.
My family or loved ones, they're dead basically. So it's just me. I wrote the sign because I'm going through it right now with the healthcare system. Back in June of 2021, I got into an electrical injury. I ended up with 4 herniated discs, 2 in my neck, 2 in my spine. In the amount of time it took for me to finally get my surgery, it took 2.5 years. So my nerves in my neck and my lumbar were both compressed the entire time, and now I have nerve damage for the rest of my life. I take a medication for it that they're telling me is no longer long-term, so they want me to move on to epidurals, like injections into the spine, and that costs about, it's a couple $1,000s a pop. I don't have insurance. I haven't worked in 3 years, so I haven't been paid in about, since early 2022. And drained my 401k, drained all my portfolios, set up a GoFundMe back in the day, failed. So I'm just here to speak my piece.
You're lucky he's not carrying a piece.
And why does he have to suffer so much? Why do we all have to suffer so much? So that
because Brian Thompson paid $10 million a year,
so that they can sleep on a pile of money like Scrooge McDuck, right?
Exactly.
Literally, so that they can body surf, on their fortune, like a stereotypical, genie of the lamp. I mean, it's pure madness. I reposted an amazing TikTok, where with the most perfect deadpan delivery, this woman is like, if you're celebrating the unaliving of Brian Thompson, you're contributing to violence in this country. I mean, walking down, and then she said, in a school, fine. At a homeless shelter.
Oh yeah, no, she was great. That was great. That was so funny.
It was perfect because, at first you think that but no, what she's pointing out is the sheer hypocrisy. Nobody has a damn thing to say about how cheap our lives are. But as soon as a wealthy, powerful CEO takes one in the back of the brain, then all of a sudden everybody is concerned about violence. The system is violence.